Hi everybody, Lori here from Unique in the Creek, coming to you doing a ribbon style sunflower. I wanted to get out of the Christmas for a few minutes, so I'm making this ribbon sunflower using two different color ribbons. One is a lighter yellow and one's a darker yellow. These are 2.5 inch ribbons, and they are 10 yards each spool. Okay, so this is what my wreath is going to consist of, is these 2 rolls of ribbon. Also, one of these styrofoam sunflower centers that you can purchase from all different online craft stores. It's just a piece of foam, and I'm going to be putting a pipe cleaner on the back of it and attaching it to the large flower frame. So I'm going to be using the large board today, and I'm going to be using a piece of 12-inch wood to measure my ribbons. Okay, so I'm going to take the sticker off. And this is just another fun way to make a sunflower. If you don't have the deco mesh on hand, you can use just plain. These are canvas cotton rolls of ribbon. And I believe I got these from Deco Exchange or Craft Outlet. One of those two. Okay, so I'm going to preload my board. Closed. I'm going to take my zip ties. And actually, what I'm going to do first is attach my pipe cleaner to my piece of foam, and I am using Gorilla Glue, and I will also be using floral pins once it is on the wreath board. And I'm also going to be gluing it as well, so this center will not come off. Okay, so I'm just going to let that set. I have these large floral pins, which I'm going to cut down because this sunflower is not very wide. So I'm going to just snip it down and put one of these just right through the pipe cleaner. There we go. So that'll just hold that there, and then I will be doing it on the back of the board as well. So we'll just let that sit, and it'll be nice and dry by the time we're ready to use it. And it makes quite the mess. Okay, so I'm going to preload the zip ties. This is the boring part, and this is the part I do a bunch of these and watch a movie while I'm loading the board. But this is a tutorial style video I am doing. So I'm doing it from start to finish. A very easy project, especially if you can't find deco mesh and you have a ton of ribbon. Like I'm using yellow just to show you how to make a simple sunflower, but you can use any colors that you have. I actually have a beautiful purple, almost like a taffeta looking ribbon, a light purple and a dark purple. So I'm really excited to use that one. But I thought I would do something out of Christmassy. Christmas, and this will be auctioned off on December 4th at our Christmas auction, charity auction we are holding. So this would be a perfect gift for actually anybody, because there's not a person I know that does not like a sunflower. Now this, because it is made out of all ribbon, it would not be very smart to put it right out into the inclement weather. Meaning if you don't have an overhang on your door or a screen door, I wouldn't suggest hanging it on your door, because if it gets wet, the ribbons will probably ruin, and ribbon has wire in it, and the wire may rust. So it does fare well in an enclosed door, like 2 doors. So I am not going to be doing row 5. Row 5 is where the center is going to go. And there are many, many different ways you can make a center for your sunflower, or for any flower. I'm doing it the cheating way, which is buying, I bought a pre-made center. But I just wanted to do this, come on quick and do this quick tutorial, which I will then edit and post on YouTube for people to follow. So this process right here that I'm doing will be sped up on the video. But I figured I'll do it on my Facebook Live, so you guys can, I know I'm not answering any questions, but you guys can see what I'm doing, and you may want to do a last minute gift because you have some great ribbons or something. And it's very easy to do. Okay, so we have our board preloaded. We're going to put this to the side now and get our ribbons. Okay, and I am using a 12-inch piece of wood to measure. Now you don't need to have wood or anything. You can use a piece of cardboard if you'd like. You don't need fancy dancy tools. Although the fancy tools do come in quite handy. So we're going to be using both these rolls, the full roll. One is lighter than the other. So I'll be alternating the rows. So I'm going to cut about 6 to 8 pieces at a time. So we're going to have 12-inch pieces. So I'm going to wrap this around. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't want to do too many, because then you'll lose some of the length of the ribbon. So some of the ribbons will be a little longer the more times you wrap it around. And you do want to have a nice sharp pair of scissors, because we are going to be angling these ribbons. And you want a nice clean angle, which sharp scissors will give you. So again, these are 12-inch pieces. I'm cutting both rolls. So I think I'll start on the outside. Maybe with the lighter color. I actually don't think it will matter what color I start with. I could even alternate dark light, dark light. And this can be done on both the large and small board. The size of the center I have, it's a 5.5 inch, and it does look better and more proportional when you do make your flower on the large board. So if you are going to be making a pre-made center or using a pre-made center, it's better to use the large board. Plus, I love the large board. It's like the perfect size for the front door. Small board's nice as well, you know, if you need a small space. But I like big giant flowers because you can see them so nicely from the road on the doors, especially the bright yellow. So if you are thinking about doing some ribbon sunflowers, I really would suggest you start looking for the ribbon and buying it soon, because stuff like this runs out quite quickly. I will give you the SKU number, and like I said, I believe if you type in this SKU number, the different places that sell it will come up. And the SKU number for this one is RG127929. Okay, again, it's RG127929, and this is the bright, it's almost like a daffodil yellow. Okay, and then this is the darker yellow, which is very pretty. It's going to look wonderful with the two colors. And this one is RG1279N as in Nancy and C as in cook. So RG1279NC. Okay, so I think I'm going to start out with the yellow, the bright yellow on the outside. So what I'm going to do is I want to have a 12 inch, or sorry, not a 12 inch, a 2 inch angle cut for my ribbons. So what I'm going to do is fold the ends together. So the cut ends, make sure they're all together, just like that. And I got 3 pieces here. You could probably do about 4, depending how sharp your scissors are. Okay, I'm going to put it on, this is a 21, and I'm going to go, this is at 21, so I'm going to cut my angle at 19. So I'll put my finger right here, that's the 19, so that's 2 inches. I'm going to cut from the 19 up to the corner. And it doesn't have to be totally precise, but it does give you the perfect angle. Okay, and what we call this the Patricia petal. So if you've already done this flower before, this is the Patricia petal. It's just with a solid ribbon, and we're going to make a sunflower out of it. Now I have used 4-inch ribbon before, however it doesn't, the angle when you use a 4-inch, you need to do more than a 2-inch angle to make it look proper, because if you do a 2-inch angle on the 4-inch ribbon, it doesn't give you much of an angle because it's so much more wide. I don't know if that's a word, but so I just use my finger and look. You can mark your ribbon with a black Sharpie or something to see, but it does not have to be perfect. It's 20, 18. So if you don't have a cutting mat, that's okay. If you just mark 2 inches on a piece of paper or something, or even get a measuring tape and just keep it open and tape it to the table. You just have to figure out how you can mark off 2 inches. So I'm going to speed up the video when I do switch it over to YouTube. So if anybody has any questions that are watching the live right now, you can ask away, because I will be speeding this part up. Right now, you can ask away. Okay. This ribbon is 2.5 inches wide. So if you're just joining, this is tutorial style, so I really don't, I'd let you join in on watching a tutorial I am videoing, which for YouTube, for our YouTube channel. And this part I'm talking in right now will be sped up because this is boring. Christmas party, yay! I have not done anything Christmassy except make wreaths. I haven't even taken my Christmas stuff out yet. Okay, we're almost done cutting this roll. So it's a little time consuming, but it's definitely not hard. Okay, we're done that roll. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting these in. I am going to be using, I think I'd like to use some green ribbon on the outside holes here. I have this really nice 4-inch green ribbon. It's sparkly, it's really, really pretty. It's almost like a lime moss green. I am going to do the outside row 1 with this green ribbon, and I will show you what I mean when I say when you do 4-inch with a 2-inch edge, it kind of looks funny. So we need 8 pieces of this. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this green ribbon, should you like it as well, the number is RG01014LT. Okay, RG01014LT. And this is a 4-inch like lime green, and it's got like sparkles in it. It's really, really pretty. And I'm going to use this ribbon for the outside, 8 holes for leaves. Okay, I will show you what I mean about doing 4-inch, because 4-inch is really fun to use, especially if you have a lot of 4-inch. However, it does make your flower, it'll make it more expensive because 4-inch ribbon is more expensive. That's why I use it sparingly. So for the outside leaves, I only need 8 pieces. So I am going to cut it at the 2-inch angle, and it just to me doesn't seem the right angle. Now these are for the leaves, so it might be okay. So it's just not as, I guess, pointy. So it will work. It's just, it's not as pointy as this. So if you are making a flower With 4-inch ribbon, you may want to give it a 3-inch angle instead of a 2-inch angle like we're doing with the 2.5-inch. So because I am using the green on the outside, I probably won't use completely both rolls of the ribbon. But I wouldn't throw out any leftover pieces that you do have from the ribbon, because you can use it to make a center for another flower. Never waste. Yes, the green is cut at 12 inches as well. And you can cut it, 12 inches is just a base. You can cut it at any size you want. So if you want to make a smaller flower, you can cut it at 10 inches. It's totally up to you. I just use 12 inches as a standard base. Okay, so we're ready to go. So I'm going to be using, first thing I'm going to do is put my hanging holes in, or my hanging zip tie in. I'm just going to use this yellow so you guys can see it. And right where it says number 1, there's 2 holes that are divoted in, and we call those hanging holes. I just use a zip tie and cut it down. You can use twine, you can use ribbon, you can make a bow. It's whatever your preference. Okay? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be using the outside row of row 1. So I'm putting my zip tie through the hole and just leaving it down like an L shape. I'm going to take my ribbon, and I want the pointy side inwards. So I'm going to, you can guesstimate where the middle is or just fold it over and it makes a line. Scrunch and pinch up the middle. And when you fold these two together, they should approximately be the same size. Put that right on your board and zip tie it up. Now these are 18-pound, 6.5-inch zip ties. When you're doing a ribbon flower like this, you can get away with 4-inch zip ties because ribbon is not as thick as the mesh. So you could get away with the smaller zip tie. So scrunch up the middle, flip it towards the center. When you press the 2 down, they should be approximately the same size. And zip it on your board. Now I'm going to go around and do all of these and then come back and take my zip ties off. So again, you're going through the hole. I just leave the zip tie like in an L shape. Scrunch and pinch up the middle. So you're pleating it or doing it like an accordion. Flip it to the side. Just want to make sure they're pretty even. So the green will be a nice touch to the yellow ribbon to frame our flower. So as you can see, this is pretty easy. The way I'm scrunching this petal is exactly the same how we're going to make the whole flower. The only thing that's different about row 1 is we're using the zip tie around the outside of the board. When we do rows 2, 3, and 4, we're going to be putting the end of the ribbon just into the zip tie and zipping it up. So when I post this tutorial onto my YouTube channel, I will put down the codes for the ribbons that I used, again, in case you missed it earlier. Okay, so we're done our outer. I really love this green color. This is so pretty. I don't know if you guys can see the sparkle and shimmer on it, but it'll look really nice on the front door with the sun shining. Okay, and this is my zip tie gun. To use this, you can get these on Amazon. There is a link on my website for this exact one. This really saves on your hands from pulling and everything, because it tightens and cuts it at the same time, and it's just so much easier using this, especially, and for the price, I think it's like $14.99. You really can't go wrong. Okay, so now we're on to row 2. Okay, we're going to be doing one of these are the light, this is the lighter color that I had cut earlier. And we are going to be putting one piece of ribbon into each of these zip ties. You can put more if you want. It'll make it just a fuller sunflower. But for teaching purpose and for this one, I believe I only need one. Okay. Again, you're going to pinch. I like the points in the center, just like that. Okay, and where it's curved there, we're just going to put that little end in and tighten it up. Now this is what I mean when I said you don't have to use such long zip ties. You want 18-pound zip ties, but the 4 inches will work just as well. So if you have some of those laying around, because they are cheaper, but they are hard to use with deco mesh. And we're just putting the edge in. Now, for me, it saves time if I just go around instead of picking up my zip tie gun or my wire cutters. Every time I put one in, it's easier to put it all in and then go around and snip them like I did with the green ones. So these are actually really fun to make. I like doing these while I'm watching TV and stuff, because you can totally do it on your lap. So very easy. Like once you have your ribbons all cut, so if you want to make a whole bunch of these, cut your ribbons all in one session. Next day, you do your ribbons and load all your boards, and then the next day, sit and put your shows on and put your feet up and just put ribbons into zip ties and make a whole bunch of them. This is actually a good one for a workshop as well, because you don't have to worry about the fraying of the mesh. Everybody just needs a measuring tape and a pair of scissors, and they can cut their own. The ribbon is easy accessible, like you can get all kinds of ribbons. I love how this green is really making this yellow pop. Now I do have, where are they? Pliers, needle nose pliers, because sometimes my thumb gets really sore. I just pull it with it's just easier than pulling, because I do use my zip tie gun, but I'm using 6-inch zip ties, so it still has to be pulled down even though I'm using the gun. Just gonna move my center. That's gonna be really pretty. So I think I'll probably see lots of these coming up shortly after Christmas. And like I said, if you plan on making sunflowers, which are even the daisies, so you can use white ribbons, you can use whatever color ribbons you want. Just beware that things get sold out really fast. Like I said, I bought these just to do a tutorial. I bought this in the summer, and I already know people are already buying up all the yellow mesh. So you want to always stay ahead of the game, especially if you're selling wreaths. And I do know the sunflower is very popular. Okay, we're done that row. And I'm going to go around now and snip all the tails off. So have a bucket handy. Just throw your tails in the bucket. And it makes for easy cleanup. Now you can put a line of glue on the end of each of these ribbons and the board to ensure that these ribbons are not going to come out. So if somebody grabbed it by the ribbons will not slip out. You can do that. There we go. We're ready for row 2. Actually, it's row 3. Now row 3 is a little bit different. I'm going to be using these holes, but I'm probably going to use from here to here as well. I'm going to see how full this gets. Now I have to cut my darker ribbon. Actually, maybe I'll just use lighter ribbon again. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. No, I'm going to have to cut this. Okay, back to cutting again. So this is the darker yellow that I'm using for the next row. So 12-inch pieces again. Now you don't have to use, oh, I hate when there's a seam. You don't have to use 2 different colored ribbons, or yellows if you don't want. You can order all the same, but it will take 2 rolls. These ribbons again are 12 inches long. I am using 2.5-inch ribbons, and this roll is 10 yards. So I will be using 2 full rolls. So I will be speeding up the video at this point, so if anybody has any questions that are watching the Facebook Live, you can ask them now. Again, I don't want to go around too many times and make it too thick, because we lose some of the inches then. Okay, almost done this. Somebody said I make it look easy. They're really, if you can cut ribbon and use a zip tie, you can make one of these. Because that's all literally it is cutting ribbon and pulling a zip tie. And once you make one, you pretty much never have to watch this video again, because it's that easy. You won't forget how to do it. You may forget how many petals you should put, or how many pieces of ribbon in each row, but the actual technique of it, you won't forget. And like I said, you can use any ribbons you want. Okay, we're done cutting. We're lining up the edges, because we're going to have to make that slant again. Cut the angle. Now you can, if you wanted to do a rounded sunflower, it'd be a little bit more time consuming, but you can round out. Instead of going diagonal, you can round out the end of your ribbon. So I've not done that before, but there would be no reason why. I would see it would take a bit more time, but I think it would look pretty cool. So instead of, it would be rounded out just the end. If I have an extra piece at the end, I'm going to try it. Now deco mesh, especially fabric mesh and poly burlap, they make stunning sunflowers. There's a lot of work involved with it because of the fraying. And with fabric mesh and poly burlap, it does fray a lot, so you want to you really want to heat seal the ends of your mesh, and that takes a little bit of time. I use a bag sealer, and I have great results using that. I do, however, do it outside, or I do it with my HEPA filtered face mask on, because the plastic burning is not very good for you. I even get itchy skin when I do burn the mesh. This ribbon, the light colored ribbon, is RG 127929, and the darker colored yellow that I'm cutting right now is RG 1279NC. So if you plug that into Google, whoever pretty much sells it will come up. 23, 21. I do believe I got it I want to say decoexchange.com. If I didn't get it from there, they probably do have some in stock, and they have a great sale going on right now for Cyber Monday. So go have a look. And if not, you can use any 2.5 inch ribbon. But I will be talking to Damon and make sure he sees this, so maybe he can possibly order a bunch of yellow ribbon in, because I know this is going to be very popular come spring, because it is so easy to make without really a lot of thinking, which is what I like. Sometimes your brain, you want to craft, but you just want your brain to rest, and you want to watch your mindless TV shows. Well, I do. So I'm usually watching The Housewives or anything on Bravo TV that's mindless. Thank you, Tina Kelly. I'll show you the beautiful purple I got too. Okay. So I think I'm going to, I have a lot of ribbon here, so I think I'm going to double up the petals here to really give it a full sunflower. Now, a lot of people drill holes, which is perfectly fine, so they'll just drill 2 holes. Where's a marker? I don't even have a marker. Okay. So they'll just drill 2 holes right here and use zip ties. So they'll drill holes on row 3. I don't drill holes. I have once to put some lights in, but for flowers and stuff, I just use shared holes and I use glue. So I do have the drill behind me, but I don't like to teach using a drill board because there's not everybody that has access to power tools. So this is your way around not having to use a power tool. And it works. Works just as well, and nobody can tell the difference. And the only thing with doing the holes like this is you have to make sure you have long enough zip ties. These are 6.3 inch zip ties is what I use all the time, and they work fine. Okay, we're done. So that's row 3. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put 1 piece in this single one. You can put 2 pieces if you'd like. It's totally up to you. You'll probably have enough ribbon. I'm going to put 1 and I'm going to zip it up. The long piece right here, I'm going to put 2 pieces in. And like I said, you can do that for this one as well. So you take 1 piece and you take another piece and just overlap it about halfway. You want both points going the same way, so you don't want it, you know, like this or anything. Okay, and then you're going to scrunch up the middle, just like that. Again, still folding up to make sure your 2 pieces meet. And that you get like almost like a tulip thing. Okay, you're going to just take that pinched piece, and I'm going to put it right in that long piece. I'm going to zip it up, but I'm also going to hot glue it. Okay, so it is zipped in there, and it kind of spreads out, which is what I like, and fills in any gaps or anything. And then now I'm going to go over with some glue, just like that. So if anybody grabs the petal or whatever, they're not going to be able to pull it out. And that you don't have to use power tools then. This green is ribbon, 4-inch ribbon. Okay, I'm going to do that again for the next. So overlap halfway, pinch it up the middle, swing it to the center. I like my points all going the same way, and you're just going to flatten down to make sure it's pretty much even. You're going to take this, put it in your zip tie. Tighten it. Snip that tail off, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue going across. There. And then when you flip it over, all you see is a circle of zip ties going around. So it stays nice and neat still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and do all the single ones, so I'm not wasting so much time, and then I'll go back and do the double ones. And that's pretty much the whole wreath. So it really is quite easy. You just don't tell your customers that it's this easy. Because they'll never be able, they'll think it took a lot. Which it does. It's a bit time consuming, but it's not hard, and it's kind of fun and relaxing. It's one of my favorite ones to do when I'm not when I'm a bit stressed. Yes, this is what everybody is using for the poinsettia ribbon flower. The only thing is you're using pretty much red. You could, like I said, you could do any flower. If you did this all in white with a yellow center, you would have a daisy. You're using 2 rolls of 2.5-inch ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to cut these ones off, and then I'll go around and do my doubles. If you do plan on doing a lot of Unique in the Creek flower wreaths for the spring and summer, I really highly recommend getting this zip tie gun. Now the ribbon is not like the greatest quality, and but it does the job. You'll see that it starts to fold up and everything. You just need to straighten it out. But it's very pretty. Alright, so now we're going to do our doubles. So overlapping, scrunch up the middle, fold to make sure they're the same, and slip it in your zip tie. I will glue these, but I'm going to glue as I finish. Because every time you have to pick up the glue or the glue gun or pick up the zip tie gun, you're wasting time. So if you can do it all at once, time equals money. And again, if you're just joining us, this is the large board. It makes a beautiful, beautiful size sunflower. I'm using a 5.5 inch center that is pre-made. So the 5.5 inch center is a little bit too big for the small board. But there's many ways I've shown how to make your own centers. Lots of people making centers that you can just buy from them now. So there's all kinds of options. So as you can see, each row layers upon itself, and you don't see the zip ties. Okay, I'm probably going to speed it up here, so if anybody has any questions. Oh, did you guys read what Tina Kelly just wrote? The Wreath Shop has a sale. I think everybody has a sale. Trendy Tree has a good sale too. Trendy Tree, they actually have our boards as well. So you can buy everything in one shot. Okay, my last one of the double. I'm going to go around and cut them, and then I'm going to add my strip of glue. So like I said before, you can drill holes if you'd like, but if you're like me and just don't feel like I'm too lazy to do that, I just use the in-between holes and then just add, I'll just add glue to all of them. Just right across, right onto the board. And I'm using Gorilla Glue, which is my favorite. And the customers will not see the glue. Nobody will see this glue, except you know it's there, so you know it's not going to go anywhere. And the glue won't melt the board or the ribbon or anything, so you don't have to be worried about that. Okay, we're on to our last row. Isn't that pretty? Who would have thunk? A couple rolls of ribbon. Okay, the next row I'm going to do the light. Should I do the light, or let me see. Maybe I'll do light and dark. We need 8 pieces. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark, and yeah, we'll have to do the light color because I have a lot more light color. So do I have, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You know what? I have 16 pieces total. Instead of just throwing them in a box, because I know I probably won't use them, I'm going to use them all. So I'm going to put double into each section. So I only have 5 of the dark, so I will double up every other one. So we're going to do it just like we did the long ones. You're going to double it, and we're going to put it in here. because I do have the extra ribbon. I know I won't use it. It'll end up in the garbage, so I might as well use it in my flower. And then the next one, I'm going to use a light and a dark. This will give it nice, it'll be nice and full. Now you wouldn't really have too many extra if you did your outside petals with the yellow, but because I used green, that gave me 8 extra pieces. And this is just a cotton canvas ribbon, nothing fancy. You could even do a yellow striped ribbon if you wanted. Or, like I said, all white. If you did all white ribbon, you could find one maybe with some sparkle or something on it and put a yellow center in. You would have a nice daisy. But this is a nice full sunflower. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, 2 more, and we have 2 more pieces left. Now with this ribbon, I'm not sure if there's a good side or a bad side. Both sides look exactly the same to me, so just be careful if you do buy a ribbon and it has, you know, different sides, that you use the nice side facing up for your flower. Okay, so that's 2 full rolls of ribbon, of 2.5 inch by 10 yard ribbon. This is a very full flower. This has got to be one of my favorites, I think. And then I used the green 4 inch for the leaves on the outside. Now I may go in and glue the green pieces so it stays spread out like that. So I'll probably do that all the way around, so we have green going all the way around. And unfortunately, this is not the, like I said, it's not the greatest ribbon, so it may fray a little. So what I've done is just put a little bit of glue, hot glue on this side, a little bit of hot glue on this side, press it down, and it'll keep that green piece open, and then these will just go on top. It just looks a little neater. Okay, let's get rid of these, put the center on, and we're done. Okay, the zip tie gun, you feed the zip tie tail into this slot, just like that. I hold on to it, pull the trigger, and it'll pull and cut at the same time. This took me a while to get used to, I must admit. It was very intimidating, but now that I have one and know how to use it, I can't believe I've been doing without it all these years. There are different ones on the market. There's plastic ones that you can get at Harbor Freight and everything. They're not the greatest quality. and they will break. So just be careful what you pay for or what you buy. Check the reviews. Okay, we are going to put our center on. Where did my center go? Okay. So this is a pre-made center. You can buy these online at local craft stores. Unique in the Creek will be selling kits in the spring, and I've bought thousands of these for the kits. So just to let you know, and it is 5.5 inches in diameter, so it is the perfect size for the center on the large board. So what I did is I put hot glue on the back of it. I got a floral pin, which is, they're a little bit long. I like them long because you can cut them down. So if you need it long, you have it long. If you need it short, you can just cut it down. If you have them too short, you can't make them longer, correct? So I just cut it down and just put hot glue and one of these floral pins into the back of it. You want to make sure your floral pin isn't long enough that it's going to go through the front. And we're just going to feed this pipe cleaner down one hole, just like that, and then I'm going to do it across the total opposite hole and bring it down. Just like that. Make sure it's even. Okay, I'm going to tighten it on there. Move it around. Now you can, it is sitting up just a little bit. Some of my zip ties we're hitting it. There we go. You can get your glue gun, and you can see the little, I call them nubbins, where your ends of your ribbon is. You just pump a little bit of glue on each end. Your center will sit perfectly on those ends, and it helps with it not coming off the board. Okay, once you got that done, and then you just have to hold down. Fix my ribbons as I'm holding. Wow, this is pretty. Isn't it pretty? You could also do this with felt. I've done a felt sunflower before and a felt daisy. Little more work because you do have to cut the strips, and ribbon's already measured for you. You just have to cut the lengths. So that's how I came up with doing a ribbon flower, is because I used to do the felt ones, and I would cut strips of felt and do them the same way. And then I figured, why am I doing that when I can be just using ribbon? There we go. So I'm going to flip this over now. Tighten it up. Okay. Snip that off. Now I like to put a little bit of hot glue wherever I've done a pipe cleaner, just so it doesn't scratch anybody's door. We still have a nice neat center. And I'm also going to put some floral pins in, just a couple. And I'm going to cut them pretty short as well. There's one. I'm going to hold my... Oh, I think I cut it too short. Yep. Too short. And you can get floral pins at any craft store. I bought mine on Amazon. I buy everything on Amazon. So you're just going to push between, and you could hear it going in. Hopefully you don't feel it on the other side where your hand is. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, and then you can pump some glue into the holes of the floral pin there. And then I'm going to put another one there, and that's all I need. That center is not going anywhere. Go. It's in there. Pump some glue in the hole. I just put it like a bumper, just so the pin doesn't scratch a door. Push it down, and that's it. I'll flip it over, and you can see the finished product. So that wasn't hard. So anybody that said I make it look easy, it is easy. There we go. Oh, the center makes a mess though. It is made with some kind of natural shavings. There we go. We have our sunflower with ribbon. Very easy to do. Thanks for joining me, and can't wait to see what you guys make as well. Thanks, guys. Bye. Okay, Facebook people, I will show you the purple I was talking about. It's absolutely gorgeous. I believe I bought this purple from Waterman's Loft. But again, I think if you put the number... Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Sorry I couldn't talk. I was just trying to kill two birds with one stone. Look how beautiful it is. Very easy. Anyways, okay, so this purple I was talking about, I think I got it at Waterman's Loft. It is like a iridescent, and I can't wait to make a flower out of it. So I don't know if you guys can see that. It's also like a canvas. It is number RG019653. Again, this is RG019653. And it's almost like a taffeta. And it's even got the lines like taffeta. So that's the dark one, and then I also bought a light one, which is the same, but obviously lighter in color. Isn't that pretty? I think it's going to make a gorgeous, gorgeous flower. And this one is RG019653. RG019653. So I'm going to be making a flower out of these. They are really, really pretty, very shiny. Waterproof ribbon. Yes, I believe there is waterproof ribbon. You also can buy deco mesh ribbon. I don't know about making a flower out of deco mesh ribbon because deco mesh ribbon curls. So your flower would be all curly. So I don't know how that would look. But I'm pretty sure there is waterproof ribbon. I'm sure you're going to pay for it as well. I'll bring you guys up. You'll probably pay as well for it. Meaning money-wise, it's going to be expensive. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, I'm quite happy with it, the way it turned out. And I will be doing editing to it, and I'm going to be putting that tutorial up on YouTube. I'm not sure when, but I wanted to get it shot. And this sunflower will be available, I believe, at the auction. I'm not too sure yet, but... Okay, guys. If there's no more questions, have a great night tonight. I'm going to make dinner. Bye, y'all.